How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of a different crossout video this time. Before we start the video, I just quickly want to say thank you so much for all of the support, and if you haven't done it yet, drop a subscribe there down below, and always stay updated to all of my uploads. Crossout Kerbal Space Program, Target Tag, whatever. We play so many different games, but just want to say thank you so much for all of the support. It's amazing, so please do keep it coming. And the subject that we're going to talk about today is a bit boring, I'm gonna be honest, compared to some of the other stuff that we've done lately. It's gonna be me talking with some background gameplay here because there's a few things that I want to address. You might remember me doing a video some time ago on 13 player changes that people would like to see implemented into this game. And this video is not really an extension to that, but it's a rant that includes some of the stuff that I was addressing the last time, that we need more player focused changes into the game. I made a post on the official forums, there's a link down below, and the name of the post is "Please save the game before it's too late," and the video here will probably be titled something similar. My point in this post is that I'm afraid that the competitive side of this game is gonna die. Don't get me wrong, I don't ever expect this game to die, because Gaijin knows what they're doing, and the influx of new players is probably somewhat compensating for the loss of old and experienced players. Like we see right now, we see so many high tier players leaving the game because they just don't enjoy it anymore. It's getting so bold and boring, and they're literally killing what Clan Wars used to be. So I feel like what they're doing right now is that they sort of aim for new players to join their game, then those new players will buy packs, the new players will then leave, stop playing because they find the game boring as they progress, and we repeat that cycle over and over and over again. So Gaijin will lure in new players, they will earn some money on those players, and then they will stop giving a shit about those players. And this feels like this is where they want the game to go. But is it so? I don't know. Because I feel like there's such a huge potential for competitive play in Clan Wars. But once you reach that state, you really feel the effect of just how careless the devs are regarding the end game material. I myself as a player has been participating in Clan Wars at high and low ranks for the past 9-10 months, and I can honestly tell that the game is dying for literally like 60, 70, 80% of all of the players that I meet. Which could potentially create a nice competitive environment at the top of the ladder in Clan Wars. But so many people are just leaving right now. And the consequences are quite massive, because the Clan Wars has never been more boring than it is right now. The only players left to play Clan Wars are the players who enjoy it. Either Typhoons, Scorpions, and to some extent also Melees. Every other player in the game that doesn't like those combinations are either forced to follow those metas, or just stop playing Clan Wars, because you just can't do good while also being competitive. And trust me, yes, those players could just play what they want and then be happy about their placement, but that's just not how it works in a competitive environment. You have to shift to whatever the environment drags you towards. But that will also create a lot of conflicts and possibly kill the game for a lot of guys. And that's what I'm fearing is happening right now, because yes, I could also keep enjoying the game and just have a lot of fun with doing, just regular PvP and stuff, but I enjoy the competitive environment of Crossout and Clan Wars, especially not in the way that I want to be a top 10 guy, because that's way too stressful for my goals for this game. But I like the competitive nature, and I want to be able to play this and meet a lot of different varieties of builds. I mean, just go back, watch my Clan Wars videos for when I started posting this. There was so many different builds that we were facing, and we were playing a lot of different builds as well. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. But now, if we want to grind uranium, there's literally two options. Either go for a Typhoon hover, or go for a Scorpion hover, or a melee in some cases. So, what's my point with all of this? Well, I'm just literally trying to create some awareness of this, and try to get some awareness to the fact that I actually want people, and the devs especially, to be aware of this, and sort of get together and understand what this game is like for so many of us, and why this is so wrong, and what's killing it. And the main issue that's killing it right now is the fact that it feels like the devs are not listening to us at all. They're changing so many things based on what they want in this game without listening to what the players want. And I'll get into this later, but just remember that in the end, your players are what is keeping this game alive. You guys are not keeping this game alive. The people playing this game is keeping this game alive, okay? So, want some examples? Fine, I'll bring you some examples of what I mean. Let's go way back to patch what, 0.10.45 or 0.10.30, something like that, where the infamous harvester change was made, and the harvester was made it was relying on you always having a spark on your build to prevent low power score harvesters, which ideally, like, it was a good thought, but you fucked it up completely. Like, they wanted to fix the damage of the harvester, yet they ended up doing the exact opposite. For no apparent reason, you changed this, like, the spark to be relying on the harvester, but instead you just ended up making the harvester deal a shit ton of damage from the first second they got onto you, and the ram damage was insane. The damage per second, you didn't have the build up as you had before. It took you, what, 15 seconds to get full potential of the harvester before, and then after the changes, the harvester just dealt full damage after 1 second. You literally chewed through everything. So you had an idea, but you ended up doing the exact opposite. Then let's look at the Scorpion. Some time ago, the Scorpion, by accident, you guys said, the Scorpion had 0% damage loss when it penetrated builds. The Scorpion penetrates 7 blocks, and it had some damage reduction throughout those 7 blocks. They changed this to be 0%. Then they called it a bug in a later patch, and they reworked it. Then, 2 patches later, it's back to literally 0%, almost 0%. It's 10% damage drop per square of penetration. So even though you penetrate, it still deals a ton of damage. So the Scorpion is back to being stupidly good. And on top of that, they also increased the accuracy, because holy shit, the accuracy was not big enough with the Jade buff already. So yeah, of course, let's give it even more accuracy, right? And just to be clear, the Scorpion is not bugged because it deals a ton of damage to pass through. That's the way it always was meant to function, and that's the way, personally, I feel like it still should, just to clear that. But that's not what we're talking about. Okay, but if you guys want more examples, here's another one. If we go even further back, around Christmas time, the guys at Gaijin decided to look at the Icebox perk and increase it to 15% instead of 10%. This was announced and made available to test on the public test server. This really fluctuated the prices of the Icebox a lot, and besides that, the market just it went crazy. And on top of that, the developers decided to put a 50% sale on the Frostburn pack, that is, so you could get the Icebox cabin for 50% off compared to what it usually was. Imagine how many packs Gaijin sold, considering that they had a sale and they were gonna buff it. Of course, they sold a shit ton of packs. No one can tell me otherwise. That's just the way it is, and you guys know it. But after the sale ended and the patch dropped, they decided not to implement the change. The reason being this is that they said that due to player feedback, they didn't want to implement it because it was too strong. I went back by then and checked the feedback given from the PTS back then. Literally 2 players commented on the fact that the Icebox was too strong now. All of the rest of the comments that was about the Icebox was saying, finally the Icebox will be good, it will be viable, it's a nice change, it's a welcome change. But 2 people who said this is too strong decided that, oh shit, we're not gonna do it anyways, okay? Disregarding this, they did do it later on, but they did it like 3 months after the sale and the announced change. They literally just wanted to grab money. Later on, they then decided to nerf the Typhoon, which was a really good idea. Diminishing return on a weapon like this was needed. We don't get stun locked until we're dead anymore, which is great. But in order to not crash the market completely, since the Typhoon was the only real game changer in the relic category, they decided to re-implement the change to the Scorpion that they previously announced as a bug. So developers, what was it? Was it a bug? Was it a feature? Let us know. because it's kind of sketchy the way that you're working right now. And I do, again, realize that the Scorpion, in my opinion, is not the strongest weapon we have, but holy shit, it's good. And all in all of these changes, and there's numerous more examples that I will not bother saying here. You guys can go look it up if you want to see it. But all of these changes has really just made the community furious and looking for answers. If we go to the general discussion, there's literally so many threats. Like, the Scorpion is not balanced, and fixing its frame damage wouldn't kill it. There's like, shotguns and harvesters were way too weak, so it's a good thing we now have a cabin that buffs damage by 20% for just being close to an enemy. And the comment in there is just, thanks for an absolutely useless cabin. Dev's genius idea to deal with sculpt deframing, and then there's a funny explanation in there. There's a thread called fix the game ASAP. There's so many things like threats in the general discussion that people are just complaining about the game right now, and it seems like you guys just don't want to listen. The developers just don't want to listen. So what do? You guys literally have to start listening to your players. All of the newcomers might be paying your salary for the next 6 months, but it's us veterans who actually play Clan Wars, who actually want to make this game a competitive game. We are the ones you should be listening to, because we are the ones that can drag this game up to a higher level and actually make this a proper competitive game that people want to join to show off just how good they are at the game. When the skill cap is decided by the builds rather than the players, then we will never get a truly competitive game, because whatever weapon is the strongest defines the meta and defines the skill cap. There's only so much a player can do when some weapons are just stupidly broken compared to others. And that's really all I wanted to say, and I hope you guys will support this to some extent, because I don't know how else I would explain all of this and all of the changes. So I really just hope you guys will support this video, and please do start a discussion down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the current state of the game, how much you enjoyed, what you would like to see changed and all that stuff. And then there is only to say that let's just pray that this game survives, so that I can keep on making epic crossout content. And if it doesn't, then you guys just better enjoy what else I come up with, okay? See you later, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.